Welcome back, Descendants. Today we have a quick video on how you can prepare for Season 2 Update 1 when we get the new Descendant Ines Raya, who is going to be another electric Descendant. So let's get into it. So for those that don't know, Ines Raya was an electric AoE Descendant, and she has been said by the devs themselves that she will be giving extra electrical damage on critical hits. So this can lead us to a few things. You can see on screen here the picture of Ines and her abilities. That looks super cool, which are like ball lightning things that are all over the enemies. Now we can't see what kind of damage it's doing. It's obviously going to be electrical. But my guess here, and judging from a quick look at Vash's cool reactor kind of look ahead on where to farm things, I'm gonna make a guess and say that this week, when Ines actually launches, is going to be the first week in a long time we have electric tech reactors that are farmable. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say electric tech is a reactor that we could go after, and there can be any number of roles on that reactor that you could go after, including critical hit rate or damage with tech skill power. You can do any kind of combination there, or you can hedge your own bets on what kind of reactors you want from that. So an activity that you can do to prepare for the first update in Season 2 is going to be, of course, an infiltration. And this activity is going to, of course, be the Magisters Lab, which is one of the fastest infiltrations in the game, which can give you up to 2 amorphous materials as long as you meet the score threshold, which you should always run around 250%. And this is going to give you 2 amorphous materials, like I said, as long as you meet the score threshold, and it's going to give it to you for Executioner. Now, that's going to play into something here in a little bit that we'll get into in just a minute. Another activity that you're going to want to do is logging in each day and checking out the Albion's New Year's celebration. Now, I already made a video on this before, letting people kind of know about it, because Nexon didn't really tweet any major updates. There's just an update on their website about it. But you're going to want to go and log in each day for a daily challenge to get 7 of these heavy ion collectors. Now, you only have to do 2 intercept battles, and it is going to help you get a stockpile of these quite quickly. And the only reason I say that is because it's entirely possible that with Nexon providing us with Void Vessel decryption keys and heavy ion collectors here in the daily tasks to give us these items, they could possibly be used for crafting Ines. And in addition to clearing those intercept battles, completing a void mission for these decryption keys that I mentioned earlier, the decryption keys aren't going to do much for you for what I want you to do, but doing the void vessel missions themselves are going to let you open any of the broken chests that are within the void vessel to give you a specific material that is called the, I believe that it is a, let's go over here to our basic materials for our refined void essence. Now this comes, like I said, out of the basic broken chests, and this was used to craft Keelan. So we can reasonably assume that these may be used to craft Ines along with the heavy ion collectors, both of which are given, the heavy ion collectors given through a daily task, and then these refined void essence as a random chance from the broken chests in the void vessel missions, which you can easily see which ones they are because they have a red light on the chest and it's kind of broken in. And if you activate your receive, which is kind of like your scan ability, those chests will have a white diamond above them instead of a green diamond. So really easy to find. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to do void vessels for those broken chests. If you can do void vessels on hard, that will be great, because if you're going to be doing Magisters Lab for a bunch of amorphous materials to get crystallization catalysts, you will also get a lot of the materials that you need to craft those crystallization catalysts out of void vessel. So this is an activity that you can kind of live in for a bit and stockpile some materials, go do your Magisters Lab, and then go hunt down Executioner, which he has some interesting things about him coming up. So we talked about doing infiltrations for amorphous materials and catalysts. We talked about doing void vessels for all the materials to craft your catalysts and getting keys and the void items in order to possibly craft Ines, and talked about the heavy ion collectors to possibly craft Ines as well. So let's get into Executioner and why we should do Executioner for the amorphous materials that we got from Magisters Lab. So aside from being able to get ourselves some crystallization catalysts out of that, we're also going to be able to have a chance at random electric reactors that drop from him. Now you'll get a few every time, and some may be purple, some may be gold. But here you can try your luck at the electric tech reactor combo with critical hit rate or damage and tech boost power. And one last thing that you can also do is do special operations on hard. Come here to Kuiper Mine Blocking in White Knight Gulch on hard mode. You'll be able to get yourselves at a pretty good chance fine adjustment control axis. You can use these to re-roll the stats on your weapons. You can get yourselves some quantum incubators because these play a part in upgrading your reactors to level 5. These are actually used to craft the dimension analyzers, which then in turn help you move your reactor up to level 5, and gold. And in addition, on average, if you run this to completion, and if you have a group with you, you can do it in about 9 to 10 minutes, if not faster. And you can get about 2 million gold with some slight boosters going per 2 million gold per 10 minutes. That's 200,000 gold per minute, which is probably one of the best gold farms in the game at the moment, which lends itself to being very, very good, along with these high drop chances for control axis, incubator, and gold. Fortress Wave Defense is a decent spot, but the code breaker drops there are much, much higher. So here in Block Kuiper Mining, you can have just a much better chance at getting these items that will help prepare you even more for Season 2, Update 1 with Ines Raya in it. And with that, those are a few simple things that you can do, a few simple activities that you can do, in addition to just logging in each day and doing a few challenges in order to better prepare yourself for the first update in Season 2. Of course, like I said before, where we get Ines Raya. It'll give you a nice boost, and you'll be able to hopefully hit the ground running when everything drops. I hope the video helped you out, guys. If it did, maybe think about dropping a like and subscribe. You can always unlike and unsubscribe later if you find the content on the channel isn't something that you're enjoying anymore. And you can always catch us over on Twitch in the evenings, twitch.tv/0_OCXO. And we also have a great community over on Discord. We're growing. We have a great LFG build channels, advice channels, Q&As, all that kind of fun stuff. And we always do a lot of cool contests as a community. So hope to see you around. And as always, 0 out.